How to get into FPV. It can be a little bit confusing and there's so many options out there, but in this video I'm going to show you the best bang for your buck. So there are kits out there that you can buy that have the goggles with the drone and everything all in one, and those can be tempting, but often for nicer systems they're super expensive, and then for cheaper systems they'll come with something that's not that great. I want you to be able to start with equipment that is basically getting you in for as cheap as possible, giving you the best performance that you'll still be able to use later on. You don't want to go and just get the cheapest stuff you can get that you're going to end up throwing out after or replacing. Before going to these sites, if you could please use the links that are in the description. They're affiliate links, so I'm helping you find the best things. You purchase them through my links, and that helps me a bit. It gives me a little bit of a percentage from your sale, around like 3%, and it costs you no more, but it helps me out and it encourages me to be able to make more videos like these. I am making this to help you though. I really I'm not making money off of these anyways. The way that you can actually help me the most is joining my Patreon for just $1 a month. Not a lot to ask for. If you did, that would help me a lot over time. So first of all, we're going to start off with our radio. The radio is the most important piece of equipment that you buy when getting into FPV because it allows you to start before you can start. You can simulate. That's the first thing you're going to have to do. You're going to have to buy a radio and you're going to have to practice on simulators. So even if you buy nothing else off this list and you want to start, you start off with a radio. Right now it's Black Friday, so there's some crazy deals, and even if it's not Black Friday, all this stuff is going to cost you less than $500. So let's go to the computer. You can choose what's best for you. It's going to be like a little choose your own adventure. I'll explain to you what you should get and why you should get it. We're going to be getting analog equipment. Analog equipment is so much cheaper than digital equipment. It's about half the price for everything and like quarter of the price when it comes to the goggles. So I really think that you should start with analog. The other reason that you should start with analog is that performance-wise, you're not missing out on anything. Just visually, maybe it doesn't look as nice, but just think about video games. I enjoy playing a Super Nintendo more than a PS5. I don't know, that's me. And with analog, you're getting the best bang for your buck. You're going to be smashing up these drones and destroying them and breaking them so fast, and it's going to cost you a lot and hurt you a lot to be breaking $200, $300, $500 drones every time that you go and destroy something. So with these analog drones, what you can do is you can buy 2 of them, and that's what I'd suggest, buy 2. That way, if you break one, you can fly the next one, and when you break that, you'll have parts from the first one, and you'll be able to kind of get the best bang for your buck. For one digital quad, you can get about 2-3 analog quads, and that's going to be better for you, especially when you're learning. You know, if I could go back and not have bought all the digital stuff and just stayed with analog, I would have been happy with that and saved a lot of money and still got to really enjoy the experience. I have HD0 and DJI and analog, and I tend to actually fly analog the most. Analog is good enough. You don't have to feel like it isn't, and then later on you can upgrade. You'll still be able to use your radio, but you'll have to buy goggles that will cost as much as buying everything that I'm going to show you today. Okay, let's go to the computer and let's do this. In the description of this video, there's going to be an affiliate link. Please click on that link and then do the shopping with me. I've literally only made like $10 selling Radio Master products so far. You're going to click on that link. It's going to take you to this website, and we're going to look at our radio. The number one radio that I think you should be thinking about is the Radio Master Pocket. This radio is the cheapest that you want to. You don't want to spend less than this on a cheaper radio because they're not made as well. They fall apart, and then you're just getting rid of them and buying something else anyways. So what you want to do is pick the Radio Master Pocket. It's amazing. Like it's small, it feels good. I got one. The first Radio Master radio I got was the Zorro. It felt amazing, but there were lots of things that were wrong with it. All the things that were wrong with the Zorro are fixed with Pocket. The Pocket is just lovely. It feels amazing. The grips stick in. They're not glued on and fall off like with the Zorro. It just feels really nice in your hand, and It works with the simulators. It has batteries that are like twice time the size. So it even has Tetris and it has Pong, and it's a beautiful little remote, and I am so happy with it. I love it. Love it so much that I actually bought it over the Boxer, which is top of the line if you want to get the best radio. But this does it all for me. So my number one recommendation for you would be buy this Pocket. Even if you don't buy anything else, all you do is buy this radio and start playing the simulators. That is a great way to start. Pick yourself the charcoal or the transparent. I got the transparent one. You can also accessorize, like you can add on a different case so you can get a different color if you want. So you could add that on. Then you're going to pick the Express LRS version. You don't want this one. You want the Express LRS because this is going to work with everything else we get. It's the most popular system right now. It's open source. And when you're later on going to have to buy parts for drones, using this system is going to be cheaper, and it's just amazing. The quality is great. For the region, you're going to want FCC. And then there's also the option, okay, it has it automatically in mode 2. You want to be on mode 2. I've seen before where you can get mode 1 or mode 2. You want mode 2 because that's what everyone's on. And especially if you've never flown before, if you're flying mode 2, any of your friends are going to most likely be flying M2, and then you can just trade radios and test out each other's stuff, and that's always fun. I have one friend that flies mode 1, and anytime he wants to try my stuff, he can't because it's totally different. So you want to be flying mode 2. You're going to have to get the batteries. So all you're going to have to do is buy this radio and buy these batteries. Or if you have 18 650 batteries, you can stick those in there and that'll be fine. Because you don't want to just buy the radio and not have any batteries. That's perfect. Now, if you say you want to get top of the line, the best radio you can get, and you don't mind spending more money, then what you're going to want is the Boxer radio here. It's a little bit more, but this is kind of like top of the line. It has more wattage, so it can go all the way to 1 watt, where I believe that this only goes to 250. But later on, you can put an add-on, and I can show you that. That'll make this have just as much power as the Boxer radio in a smaller form factor. So if you wanted the Boxer, you could get this one. Same thing, you're going to want to have to buy that battery. If you don't buy the battery with it, then it's just going to come the radio without the battery. Also, a even fancier version, if you just want to go nuts, you can get the CNC one. So it has CNC gimbals that are metal and beautiful. To me, like if I was going to do this, I would buy the other one, use it till the gimbals stop working, and then get the CNC kit. But you could do this too if you just have a ton of money and want to get something nice, or just want to invest in it. It's a great radio. Another option that you can look at is this one. Not a lot of people talk about this or show this as much. Oh no, this one's the huge one. You don't want the huge one. The other one is this. There's this one. It's really cute. It's little, same type of thing. It's a little bit older than the Pocket is. It kind of came out. It came out, the Zorro came out, and the Pocket came out. And to me, it's just, if you like the way that that looks, it does perform fine and the gimbals feel nice, but it's just this one's cheaper, smaller. I just feel like it's more like rugged, and you get to see the lights through the thing. It's just, it really pleases me. I love the Pocket. I think you should get the Pocket. We're done with radios. Those are basically your 3 main options. Pick whichever one suits you. Just remember to add the battery to it. The Pocket, if you want to get a different color, add the different color case. And then we're going to go over to BetaFPV. And now the thing that I love about this is that if you wanted to get things from all the different places, you have to pay shipping on all the different places. BetaFPV is my favorite choice for getting all the other stuff because when you buy a drone off them, it comes with 2 batteries and a charger for those batteries. If you weren't to get it from BetaFPV, if you were to go buy from anywhere else, you're going to have to buy the charger and batteries separately. And you might be able to buy something a little bit higher quality, but bang for your buck, it cannot be beat. When I first started, I wish that I kind of knew this and had these options. I got a pair of goggles that cost me about $100 that were okay, but they were heavy and not super comfortable. So now let's look at the site and let me show you. We're going to accessories. We're going to look at goggles. These are the goggle options. If you want to get the cheapest ones and smallest form factor, you can get the VR2s.
And what's really nice about the VR2s is they don't have any antennas sticking out of them. It's all internal. So if you're going to be flying mostly like even outside, it's fine. It's just it doesn't have a DVR, and that's the biggest like hit on it. But it's $50. It works great. Antennas are inside. It's nice and easy, especially like with the pocket. Everything's so little and compact. You can take it everywhere. And that's the cheapest, best bang for your buck. You cannot buy a better goggle for $50. So to me, that's an easy sale. And then here's the VR3. So for an extra $20, you're going to be getting a possibly better reception. I don't know how much better with that outer antenna. It might be a little bit better. But the big thing that is the reason to get the VR3 over the VR2 is that you're going to have the memory card slot where you can save with a micro SD card. You can save your videos. It has a DVR. That means you can record your videos, start putting them on YouTube or whatever, or look at them. Also, let's say you're flying your drone and it gets lost. You can look back at the video to see the end of the video and know where your drone kind of got lost, and that can help you find your drone, and that'll save you some money. It's saved me a few times. Those are your two options for the goggles. So you get to basically choose, just like your radio, choose which one you like the most, and I'll tell you what I would get. I would end up with the VR3s because I like having the video footage. Once again, yes, you can get much better. I have analog goggles that cost $600, but for that much money, you can buy all of this. So this video is not about just getting you the best products. It's about getting you best bang for your buck, getting you in for cheap, still having something usable. Like you see these, you can buy these ones for $30, but to me, they're garbage. They're not worth getting. But these, they're going to work great. Later on, you might upgrade to digital or you might get better analog goggles. But when you do that, you'll be able to still use these because you can let your friends wear them and then they can come along for the ride and let other people experience FPV. And that's what's so great about analog. It makes all of that so easy and it's little, it's light. These goggles are super light, small form factor, and they're not going to be annoying your face or too heavy like some of the other ones, like what I started off with. We're going into drones. To me, before, I think last year, I was recommending this one. This one's a little bit bigger. It's 2S. It has a bit more power, so I was recommending that before. But the thing with it being 2S is then you're going to have to get a battery charger, a different type of charger, which you're going to be able to get later when you're flying the bigger drones. But for now, there's the 75 Pro, and this is my new favorite option for people. It's my favorite little tiny whoop to fly. It's big enough that it can move a lot better. It's not going to move like one of these guys. It's the best bang for your buck. It's smooth. When you fly these smaller ones, so sometimes people are tempted to buy the small ones, the Mobula 6. They're very zippy, and what that means is like it's harder to control your throttle. And when you're starting, you want it to be as smooth as possible. If you're trying to fly a little 65, it can get very frustrating, especially if it's your first quad, because it's going to shoot up really quickly. And because the surface area is small, it falls down quicker. So it shoots up fast and it drops fast, and the little motors are delicate and they're easy to kind of smack around, destroy, get caught up in hair, and just they can get wrecked really easily. With the Meteor 75 Pro, it's basically the biggest version of a little 1S Whoop. So it's going to have more flight time. The flight time that you're going to get on this, just so you know, lots of the time people are used to flying whoops for like 2 minutes. With this whoop, you're going to be able to fly for 3 to 5 minutes. That's just amazing. Like back in the day, you could never get something like this. You have all new stuff. There's new motors, there's bigger propellers, and it just flies amazing out of the box. I love this whoop. So now what I would recommend here is instead of buying just one, I would actually buy two of them. It's easy to break stuff or lose it or ruin it, you're going to have to slowly learn with FPV how to build and fix things. So instead of having to build something from scratch, which you could probably easily kind of destroy everything, if you have two of these and you destroy one of the motors, you still have three working motors. You still have a camera, you still have electronics, you still have your frame. So you still have all these parts that are usable. You have the old one that you broke, but it still has all these parts that are usable. You keep it, then you fly your next one. When something goes, chances are you might be able to use parts from the first one, and that can be how you start building by doing little repairs and just replacing one part instead of having to learn from scratch to design to build every single piece, and that can be very overwhelming. And right now you can buy this, and it's cheaper for you to buy this than it is for you to buy all the parts and build it yourself. So I think that this is amazing value. When you do buy it, it comes with a charger. It also comes with two batteries. You're already going to be able to, with that radio that you bought, you're going to be able to connect it to this drone. You're going to be able to fly it without even having to buy a charger or batteries. You buy two of those, and then you're going to buy some batteries for it. So we're going to go over here. We got our goggles, and now we got our batteries. Where are the batteries? Accessory electronics. Okay. So we're going to get, it's important that you get the right batteries. You're going to get the 1S batteries, and the batteries that fit inside this frame perfectly are these ones, the 550, and these ones, the 450. And honestly, there's not that much of a difference. You'll get maybe 30 seconds more with the 550s. So if you want it to be a little bit cheaper and get some of these, you can get four of these. You can get four of these. You can get one set of each. You can get two sets of something. But what I would suggest is, let's say you buy 8 of these, or if you buy 4 of these, you're already going to have 2 to 4, depending on if you buy 2 drones, because the drone comes with 2 of them, remember? I would say if you get 8 batteries, instead of flying all 8 batteries, just fly those 4 batteries until they're kind of dying or whatever, and then use the other 4 so that you're not confusing everything. You want to, with batteries, you want to fly them all almost the same amount of times. But honestly, the difference in weight, I didn't feel that. I thought that I would like the way that the 450s fly more, but the 550s flew fine. So you can get some 550s, you can get some 450s. I'd say get a pack of each so that you can see what you like more. And then from then on, get those. It does come with 2 550s. So if you want to keep everything the same, you could just get a pack of these, and then you'll have 6 to 8 battery packs, which is great, depending on whether you buy 1 or 2 drones. Don't buy these 300s. Those are for the smaller drones. If, let's say, you want to get everything all at once so that you don't have to mess around with shipping again later, the other thing that I would suggest as your first, like, little bit bigger drone, okay, let's see, drones, let's say twig. Yes. So there's a couple options. This is a 4-inch, this is a 3.5. As your first, if you wanted to, along with all these things, buy your first quad, you could buy this one. That's pretty reasonable. It's less than $200. You would get the LRS one. This would also work with all the systems you have. But along with that, you would have to buy batteries. You'd have to buy a charger that charges these batteries, and you'd have to learn all of that stuff, which ends up being a little bit more complicated. As soon as you leave 1S, the charging, you have to get a specific charger for it, and you have to learn to take care of lipos and stuff.
So let's say you wanted to go this route and be able to get a bigger drone and get the parts for that. You come here to this playlist over here. I made a beginner FPV guide. In this playlist, there's a few videos that can teach you, first of all, this is all the parts and what they do. So if you were going to build a drone from scratch, you could look at this, and that would help you kind of choose which parts you want to pick to build your drone. Then once you have those parts and you want to build it from scratch, this is going to teach you exactly how to take all those parts and put them together and know the wiring and everything. I made it as simple as possible so that a child could kind of be able to follow along. If you've never done anything like this before, watching this video will teach you how to build your drone step by step, and every drone is like that. Then this video teaches you how to take care of your batteries. It's a bit easier with the 1S, but with the when they get bigger, it's a little bit more complicated. So make sure you watch that. It teaches you how to take care of it all. And this was last year's video on how to get into FPV for under $500. And this uses the bigger batteries and charger and everything, but it actually ends up being more expensive than going the way that I'm showing you in this video. So this video I think is the best way, but then in this one, if you wanted to get those other ones, you're going to have to get the charger and the bigger batteries, and that'll teach you how to do that if you want to do that. But don't get the Zorro radio. We're past that. It's a year later. Okay, back to the video.
Whereas all the other stuff in the 1S with the little drones, you plug it into a thing, it charges up, and you're good to go. So it makes everything easy. As soon as we get into this stuff, it's a bit more complicated. I hope that this helped you. And if you're getting into the FPV for the first time, congratulations. If you have any questions, just ask me in the comments below. I always reply to all the comments, and I do lots of build videos, modifying. So then I'll take, let's say, the little whoop that you buy and start making something more custom like this. And I really enjoy doing that. The technology has moved forward so much in the past few years that you can start off by just buying a drone like this and having a great time. Thank you for hanging out. Have a good one.